Especially when you are young, having someone experienced next to you can save you from mistakes that don't even show up on your bank statement. Mistakes that don't look like losses at the time, but end up costing you years. And that's today's question. What was the most expensive mistake that never show up on your statements? Welcome friends, I'm Fred. Here we talk about investments, business, real life and training, all from my personal perspective. And today, we're talking about investments. I was lucky, very lucky. Not because I was smarter than anyone else, not because I never made mistakes, but because I had my father next to me. And my father was tough. He would put you back on track, even if you didn't want to be there. And at the time, you hated. Later, you thank God for it. Let me give you a real example. I was about 17 or 18 years old. This was in 1990s. No internet, no Google, no YouTube, nothing. A very close friend of mine came to me with an opportunity. You join, you bring people, then bring more people, and money keeps flowing forever. It sounded perfect, like a miracle. The entry fee was around 1,500 reais at the time. Before the year of 2000, that was a lot of money. Minimum wage back then was close to 100 reais. I didn't even have the money. So I went to my father to ask for it. He and my mom were in bed watching TV. Commercial break. Sound muted. I walked in, excited, talking fast, convinced this thing was real. I explained everything. He didn't even sit up. He looked at me and said very calmly, "Stop talking. Listen to me. This is a scam. You are not getting into this. Period. No debate. No discussion." Then he said, "Go talk to your friend right now and tell him this is a scam. He shouldn't get into it either." I was embarrassed because deep down I believed it was real. I went away. I told my friend I wouldn't join and that my father said it was a scam. Long story short, it collapsed. Everyone lost money. My friend was devastated. So much that he later paid back some people with his own money. He went through a very dark period. That mistake never showed up on my statement, but it destroyed others. Years later now, around 2007, I was already working in construction. I had built a couple of warehouses. Things were improving. A piece of land showed up for sale. Price 25,000 reais. Perfect location to build another warehouse. But here was the problem. If I bought the land, I would have to sell my car. And at the same time, I wanted to upgrade my lifestyle. I had my eye on a Ford Fusion. In Brazil, a very nice car. Back then, that car was a dream for me. So, I went to my father again. I explained everything: the land, the opportunity, the car. And I said, "I think I deserve this car. I worked hard." He looked at me and said, "Stop talking. Listen. Cars are garbage. They are for appearances. They don't matter." Then he said something I never forgot. this warehouse you want to build. One day, it will buy you 10 cars like that. Sell your car, buy the land, build. I tried to argue. I said the car was worth more, my car worth more, that people were offering less. He said, take the money, stop complaining, move. I sold the car cheaper than I wanted. I sold my motorcycle. I bought a tiny scooter. I built the warehouse. That warehouse is still there today, generating rent. And the total value, rent plus appreciation, would buy several of those cars. That mistake also never appeared on my statement. But it could have changed my entire financial life. Now, let's be very honest. Not everyone has a father like that. Not everyone has someone close who tells you the truth. And sometimes, even when they do, we don't listen. When you are young, confidence feels like intelligence. But most of the time, it's just inexperience. That's why these mistakes are dangerous. They don't feel like mistakes when you are making them. They feel like opportunities. The most expensive financial mistakes are not always losses. They are bets you don't take, assets you don't buy, time you waste chasing status instead of structure. They don't show up on statements. They show up years later. If you can learn from someone else's experience, even better. If you don't, at least don't ignore the warning signs. So, tell me in the comments, what was the most expensive mistake that never showed up on your statement? Or the one you almost made but avoided? I'll read and respond to all of you. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video.